We are almost officially to summer and it is about to get super hot in North Carolina. One of my favorite things to do in the summer is to keep the heat outside, and today we're making all of our recipes on the Blackstone Griddle. We're gonna start off with some breakfast burritos that are super yummy with bacon and eggs. Then we're making some shrimp for lunch, and we are doing Blackstone Philly cheesesteaks for dinner, which are my favorite. They are so cheesy and the whole family will love them. We're getting started with breakfast, and we are making these breakfast burritos with bacon, egg, and cheese. These are so yummy and they take about 10 minutes to make. I pack these all the time for my husband so he can take them to work, and they are just absolutely delicious and they're packed with protein, so let's get to it. You're headed out to the Blackstone, and I'm gonna lift up the lid and then just turn everything to medium heat, except for that very left burner. I usually leave that off in case I need to move anything over there that's cooking too much. I'm just gonna use a little bit of olive oil and just give this a good wipe down. I always do this after I'm done cooking anything, but I'm just doing a little bit just to make sure it's really nice and clean. Then for our prep work, we have some green onions, just a couple tablespoons. We're also using some cheddar cheese, about a cup or so. And then you could also do American cheese if you wanted to. My husband loves American cheese, even though it's not really real. I think cheddar is definitely way better for you. And then for the eggs, we're using 4 eggs. We've got 2 per burrito, and we are gonna scramble these up with a fork, or you can use a whisk. We are also using some burrito-sized flour tortillas. We're just gonna use 2 for this recipe. And then I like to have all my ingredients ready because this recipe goes super, super fast in the Blackstone. We're gonna put our bacon out. I like to put it on the top of the griddle because it gets really hot up there, and then just cook it for a few minutes on each side, 3 or 4 or so, until it gets nice and crispy. Then once it's cooked, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the Blackstone and transfer it to a paper towel lined plate, let some of that grease run off, and then I'm just gonna scrape some of the grease back into that little hole in the back of the Blackstone, which is very handy. And then I'm just gonna chop this bacon up into bite-sized pieces for our burritos. Next time I'm heading back out to the Blackstone, and we are gonna add a tablespoon of butter on there. Just let it melt a little bit. Next, we're gonna pour over our eggs, and you gotta be careful because I almost lost them down the back of this. I had to grab it really quick with my spatula, but that's the best thing about the Blackstone spatulas is they're huge and you can kind of just grab it and go. These take like a minute to make, especially depending on how you like your eggs. My husband doesn't like his really that cooked. Then I'm just gonna add the cheese over the top and some salt and pepper, give that a little mix up. And we're gonna add some hot sauce, our green onion, and of course our bacon back into it. Oh, it's only breakfast and I'm already sweating. That is not a good sign. And then I'm just gonna take the tortillas and just sit them on top for a second, just to warm them up and make them really nice and pliable. These are all done, so we're gonna turn the heat off, and then we're gonna load up our burritos. Then I'll kind of get it in the center like that, fold the ends, and then just roll it over. These are super easy to roll up, especially because it's so big. We're adding another tablespoon of butter to our Blackstone. This is optional, but it tastes so good if it's nice and toasted. So just toast each side for a couple minutes until it's nice and golden brown. Then we're gonna slice these in half, and they are ready to eat. These also make a great breakfast on the go, so you can wrap them in some tin foil and then just bake them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes on 350, and just take them for on the go. You can take them right in the car. I pack these for my husband all the time. Next up, we're doing shrimp on the Blackstone, and these are so yummy. They start off with just a really simple seasoning. You could easily put these on a taco shell or over a bed of rice. I'm just doing some slaw on the side. I'm absolutely in love with slaw, and it's really just a super light and fresh meal with some avocado. This one is super delicious, and it is ready in no time, so let's get started. Our Blackstone is still pretty hot. I'm gonna add about a half a cup of water to it just to clean off all those breakfast burritos, and then just wipe it with a little bit of oil like we did before with some paper towels, and then just turn this off completely for a little bit. We're gonna head down to the world's smallest garden. I'm only growing a little bit of stuff right now, but I have a jalapeno, so I wanna grab that for my jalapeno slaw that we're gonna make. It's my first thing that I've picked out of my garden other than herbs, so that's super fun. But this recipe is so easy. I'm just using a bagged thing like this of coleslaw. I just throw away the sauce because we're gonna make our own. It's super fresh and light, and since we're doing heavy kind of for breakfast and for dinner, I wanted to do something a little bit lighter. Prep work for this is really easy. If you need to wear gloves for the jalapeno, go ahead and do that. I am leaving the seeds and stems into the center. I don't want any of those in there because I don't want it to be super spicy. And then I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a mince, maybe a dice. My mince is like diced because I'm not very particular. I just like to chop everything up. We also have about a half a cup of cilantro, maybe a little bit less. And then I'm doing some red onion that I'm just gonna slice really nice and thin. For our sauce for this, we're just using some mayo. I have about a half a cup. And then we're gonna squeeze in lime juice. Usually you would use like apple cider vinegar. We need some kind of acidity, but I like the lime for this, just it's really summery. We just need 1 lime and we're gonna squeeze that all in. Make sure you use fresh lime juice for the best flavor. And then we have a couple teaspoons of sugar, and you wanna just stir this together until it's nice and creamy. Then we're just gonna add that bagged lettuce or bagged coleslaw right in there. And sometimes there's like big chunks. I'll just pull them out and toss them of the cabbage. There's always like 4 giant chunks like this one. So you're just gonna stir this up. We're gonna add in our jalapeno, red onion, and cilantro, then stir this in. All right, now we're gonna stick our coleslaw in the fridge until our shrimp is done and see if we can find room. I actually have more room than usual because we were in Nashville over the weekend to see family, so I need to go shopping. It's kind of chaotic here right now because the kids are home from school, so I'm like literally making macaroni and cheese at the same time. Summers are always really crazy because I'm always trying to work and make YouTube videos and the kids are home and all that stuff. So, but it's fun. I kind of like chaos. I kind of thrive off of it. So it is what it is. Okay, next we're doing our shrimp. Number 1 tip for shrimp, my favorite thing to do is buy it peeled and deveined from the butcher already. I got mine this morning at Harris Teeter and it looks really good. You always kind of want to check it though because sometimes they leave some stuff in there. Gross. Pink Argentine shrimp is my top choice for shrimp. If you can't find it, you can go with like a gray shrimp. I believe it's like Gulf shrimp, which is going to be really good too. But I think the reason why pink Argentine shrimp, I think I read this before, is like it's a deep water shrimp. So it just is really, really crunchy and delicious. I have to fact check that, but I think that's right. Okay, I just Googled it. It's right. It's a deep water shrimp. And also wild caught, which is always good. That's what I always try and get, like wild caught salmon or shrimp or any kind of fish. They're in their natural environment, guys. It's better. Okay, so I did like 1.5 pounds, and it is more expensive to get them peeled and deveined, but it's just easier. If you don't have them peeled and deveined, you can just remove the shell, and then what I do is I just take a paring knife and kind of like slice the backs of them just a little bit, like a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and then just pull out that little yucky poop trail. These are seriously my favorite shrimp. They are so fresh and they're pretty big size. You guys can see these. They're like a medium size. They're gonna cook up really good in the Blackstone. I am going to go ahead and remove the tails. So when you do that, all you do is just give these a good little twist and they will fall right off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just transfer these into a colander and give them a little quick rinse under some cold water just to make sure there's no like fragments of shells or anything like that. It's just gonna clean them up. You don't necessarily have to wash your shrimp, but I think it's a better idea too, just to make sure there's nothing left on there. Once we get those shrimp nice and washed, we are gonna pat them dry with some paper towels. Then we're gonna take a tablespoon of olive oil and just pour them over the top of the shrimp. And we're gonna use the juice from 1/2 of a lime and just pour it right over top. You only wanna marinate these for about 15 minutes because the juice from the lime, like the citrus, is gonna make the shrimp mushy if you leave it on there for too long, so maximum of 30 minutes. And then if your lime is really hard, just roll it on the surface of like the countertop and it'll make the juice come out a lot easier. For our spice mixture, we have cumin, chili powder, salt, garlic powder, and a little bit of pepper, and we're just gonna coat all those shrimp and then just let it sit on the countertop for 15 minutes. Little Hutch is just hanging out on the couch outside. He's so cute. And then we're gonna get our Blackstone heated up to medium heat. We're gonna add some olive oil, about a tablespoon or so. And then we're gonna add our shrimp. You wanna add these all on one side. I dump them out because I get really lazy, but then take your tongs and just put them all flat like this. They only cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side until that internal temperature reaches 145 degrees. Then you wanna remove them immediately because I went to 150, so I knew I needed to really get these off quick because they're not gonna be as good. If you overcook them, they're not gonna taste good. These were perfect though. and just transfer them right into our bowl. And then we're gonna top them with some cilantro and lime wedges. And then of course, serve these with our coleslaw. I make like a little bowl out of mine with some coleslaw and then some shrimp and avocado. It is seriously so fresh and delicious. It's like the perfect summer meal. Okay, how good did those shrimp look? They are so yummy. I could eat this every single day, all summer long. Next up, we have our Blackstone Philly cheesesteaks. These are a personal favorite and a crowd favorite because everybody loves when I make them. They start off with a marinated shaved steak that is just so simple to make, and then we're cooking everything on the Blackstone. This is such an easy recipe and everybody's absolute favorite. You could just serve these by themselves, or you can serve them up with some chips, fries, or even some watermelon. Super simple, so let's get to it. For our cheesesteak, we're gonna get started with a shaved steak. I'm using ribeye for this. It's like a Heritage brand, I think. And I need 24 ounces, so these are only 12-ounce packages. There's like hardly any steak in there. So I needed 2 of them, and I'm just gonna throw them into a big bowl. They also have other shaved steak that's sometimes cheaper that isn't ribeye, and that's totally fine too. And then if you want to just use a regular ribeye, you could use that, but it's better to freeze it for a little bit so you can shave it super thin. And then for the seasoning for this, salt and pepper, guys, that's it. And then we got the Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. I never know how to say that right, but you want to just coat it with that, and then we're just going to use our hands just to mix everything in. Once I mix it, sometimes I add a little bit more of it, salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce because just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then we're going to cut up some peppers. I'm just using 1 red and 1 yellow because I had them in my fridge, but a lot of times I'll use like a red and a green. It just feels like more classic. And then I'm using yellow onion, and you want to just cut them in slices. And then we're going to head out to the grill. We're going medium heat again. And we're going to hit it with some olive oil and some butter. I like to do the olive oil with the butter because it helps increase the burning point of the butter so it doesn't get bitter. And just give that a good little smear around, and then we're going to dump on our peppers and onions, and these are going to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes until they're nice and soft and toasted. And I like to really give them a good toss like every minute or so just to make sure that everything cooks evenly. Once those are done, we're going to transfer them into a bowl, and we are going to add some more butter and olive oil for our steak. Once I add the steak on there, I like to kind of like break it apart a little bit as I'm adding it. And then I'm going to break it apart with my Blackstone spatulas as it cooks too. That way I like really little pieces in my Philly cheesesteak. Like I want it nice and thin and broken apart. So I'm just going to keep chopping it up, chopping until it's nice and cooked. And then once it's like pretty much no longer pink, I'm adding those peppers and onions back in and tossing those up. And then I'm going to hit this with some American cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want, guys. I know that's like very debated, like the best cheese for Philly cheesesteak. I like American cheese, and I like to use the white American over the yellow for some reason. It's just like super creamy and it tastes amazing. But I'm just going to take those slices, and I use Boar's Head brand for this. I feel like that really melts well. I just take it and add it all over to the top, and then I let it melt for a few minutes, and then I'm using my Blackstone spatulas to really mix it back up. Next up, we have our hoagies. I was lucky enough to get these from the store today, which usually I don't. Usually I just buy a package of them, but I just slice them in half like this, and it's like a 6-inch sub roll. And then I'm going to turn off the heat to the Blackstone because that's all the way cooked. I don't want to overcook anything. And then on the other side, I'm going to melt another tablespoon of butter. We got lots of butter in this recipe, guys. But we are going to melt that and then just add our hoagies right over the top and toast them until they're nice and warm and toasted. It's really just going to take a couple minutes or so. I'll grab a cookie sheet because it's the easiest way to get everything back in the house. And then I'll just load these up with our mixture, and then we can serve these right away. I'm just serving them with some chips today. It's just super easy. And we just got off the boat, so I was like, why not? That's it, you guys. We are all done with our Blackstone recipes for the full day. This was such an easy day of cooking, and everything was outside with easy cleanup. I hope you guys love these. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to give this video a like, and make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I love sharing them with you, and I have another grilling one coming next week, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you then. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!